What's going on, guys? My name is Brew. It's another Odyssey check-in, this time with the one and only Chloe. What's going on?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Doing so good.
Great.
We're neighbors. You're in the studio, and we're so excited you're here. How's life? How's everything been lately?
Life has been exciting. Life has been hectic and crazy. I have an album coming, so it's like album time.
It's so exciting. What are the feelings before you put out an album? Like, what's going through your body right now?
I don't even know how to feel. I've been working on this music for so long. It's been so close to my heart. And finally, people are going to get a peek into who Chloe is and my heart and my mind and my innermost, deepest, darkest thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's a little nerve-wracking, but I hope this project brings healing for people when they listen just as much as it healed me creating it.
Wow, it's so interesting. Is that kind of like the theme for the album? It's almost like healing, or is it more so opening up yourself to the world?
Definitely. The theme of the project is definitely about self-love and figuring that out through heartbreak, whether it's, with someone you're in a relationship with, a romantic relationship, or even friends and family. When you go through situations and in life and, you go through people stabbing you in the back, you go through learning that you can't trust people you thought you could always trust, it does a lot to you and your mental and your self-identity. And I created this project and really was so vulnerable and honest because I can't expect people's intentions to be as honest and real as mine are.
Oh,
and that's,
yeah.
That's gotten me into a lot of trouble. And because of that, I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with how I love. I just have to set healthy boundaries. And that's really what the project is about.
Wow. Well, it's beautiful and really
Thank
important
you.
stuff. I was looking through the track list, and I'm so curious to hear it. Like, I can't wait to hear these songs just because I'm interested. Like,
Yeah.
Heart on My Sleeve. That's got to be one of the most vulnerable songs of
Yes.
the album, right?
Yes, that was the first demo that I created that's
Wow.
actually it's the earliest song that's on this list that I created.
Okay. Absolutely. You got some fun features and everything. Missy Elliott. How does that happen?
Ooh, man. So for Grammy weekend, they asked me to perform to honor her. And I sang 1 in a Million and 1 Minute Man. And I'm the biggest Missy Elliott fan. So I think this was the tribute that I have been excited about the most. So I performed for her. I saw her right there. I gave her the biggest hug. I was like, you have no idea how much you've inspired me, not only as an artist, but a female producer. And she's a Cancer like me.
Oh, there you
so
go.
I just feel like
It's important. It's important stuff.
connected. And, I was listening to Told Ya. I was listening to the latest vinyl mixes before it went into mastering. And I looked at my godmom and my team. I was like, man, Missy would really be good on this. And it happened. So I'm just so grateful. She sent her verse the morning of Super Bowl. I heard her voice for 2 seconds. I fell out on the floor crying for 20 minutes. I couldn't believe that she graced a song of mine.
I can't imagine that email coming through. You're just like, what's the subject line? Like,
It wasn't
Missy
even an
verse?
email. I got a text from her.
So it was an audio,
I got
like
a
voice?
text from her and voice memos. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Was it, did you know it was going to come? Or it was just like,
No.
Yeah, you just threw it out in the universe and then you got a text one day, Super Bowl morning. Then we got to see Rihanna perform. What a day.
Right?
That's like
What a
all-time
freaking
days.
day.
Wow.
What a freaking day.
That's amazing. How is it preparing and like working on an album when you used to perform with someone, obviously your sister, like
Yes.
the process of creating with someone and then on your own, how's the prep kind of change?
The prep really didn't change physically because with our group albums, like I would engineer us, I would produce our records, things like that, and we'd write the songs together. So from the technical aspect, nothing really changed.
Yeah.
From the emotional and mental aspect, a lot changed.
Yep.
I had separation anxiety from my sister. I went through doubting even my voice and the tonality of it, wondering if people even think me on my own is interesting enough to listen to. I went through, do people even just want to see me on the stage? Like, our group is so special. What if people just think it's not anything? So I went through a lot of self-doubt. And, people even in my personal life telling me I couldn't do it and I'd never be able to make a project or anything like that. So it was a lot of trials and tribulations mentally that I had to overcome to finally be able to present this body of work. So it's more than just like, oh, you're going to hear these songs I put together. It's my life in this body, to be honest with you.
Wow. Absolutely. Did you ever hit her up to be like, I'm hitting a wall, or like I need some inspo?
All
Yeah,
the
just for
time.
like,
All the time. We're constantly spilling tea. So when we spill tea, That's where I get my inspiration from. I also get my inspiration from tea happening in my life.
Of course, have to.
Woo!
So much tea.
And I'm regretting my 12-year-old self for always saying, oh, God, let me go through a few heartbreaks so I can write about it.
What was I thinking?
And I'm like, girl, what the hell? But
not worth it.
Now we have In Pieces.
What would you tell younger Chloe now?
What I would tell younger Chloe now is that you're beautiful and you're worthy, and to believe in yourself and stop putting yourself on the back burner for others. I think that's what I'd tell myself, because I'm just now learning it now. And I think if I believed in myself a little sooner, I would have saved myself some heartbreak.
Wow. That's some beautiful messages.
Yeah.
To all the little fans out there watching right now. Speaking of the little fans, how crazy your sister's going to be a Barbie.
And guess what? I'm going to cop 30 of them.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to have them lined up on my shelf at my house.
Next to like the Grammys and everything.
Right.
Eventually.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, it's special for a collector's thing. I mean, it's going to look like you too. It's your sister. So you're like, technically, I am part of this,
Right. I was telling her the other day, I was like, Hallie, you have no idea what you're doing for everyone around the world, not just like little girls and boys, but people can see you and say, I can be whatever I want to be, no matter what the world tells me, where I come from. I can do it if I put my mind to it. And I'm just incredibly proud of her. There couldn't have been a more perfect Ariel, and people will see her light and her talent that she has always possessed since she was young, what I've always seen right in front of me growing up in the house in Atlanta for years. So I'm truly proud of her.
It's amazing. I'm sure she has the same words for you, though, for what you're doing. So congrats on everything. You're doing a million things.
Thanks.
Speaking of people you bumped into, I mean, Missy Elliott, you were in the room with SZA, Rosalia, not too long ago. Did you get any words in with them?
Yes. So for Billboard Women in Music, I was so happy to be there in that atmosphere and in that space amongst these incredible women. And I feel like it was the perfect time for me to just really get inspired right before I'm dropping this project. And, seeing Rosalia accept her award for Producer of the Year, I was like, yes, that was one of my favorite awards seeing, because me being a producer, anytime I meet any other fellow female producers, engineers, anybody in that field where it's really male dominated and where women don't get the shine like that, I was like so excited. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because there are so many female producers and there's so many women dominating this field, but we're not often given the platform to showcase our skills. So it's not that there's a lack of us, it's just that there's a lack of visibility.
Absolutely. For sure. Side note on that, just for that trio, that group there, Chloe, Rosalia, SZA.
Oh, I love SZA, man.
If you ever thought maybe making a group, rock, paper, SZA. No, it's like, I'm just saying, that could be a thing, could be an album, could be a collab, just like a one-time group. Maybe the next tour.
Oh, you already know I would say yes 1,000% over.
SZA, Rosalia. I'm just pitching it, throwing it out there.
What?
Would you rather win an award for a song, like you being the voice of it, or like for a producer role?
Oh, that's a great question. This is what my mind's thinking. At first, I was going to say I'd rather win an award, like a Grammy for a producer award, right? But why would I say that? Well, no, I can still say that now because I produced on In Pieces. I'm the executive producer on it. I produced like 12 out of the 14 songs on there. I was a part of.
Wild.
So I'm like, maybe I want to win both.
Yeah, of course.
And Imogene Heap, I don't know if the rules have changed, but I think it was her or Grimes, I forget, but they couldn't be categorized in the Producer of the Year nominations because they only produced their records. Isn't that something?
That is interesting. I had no idea.
I don't know if it changed or not, but I was like, what the heck?
Is that part of the thinking? Like, all right, I'm going to be producing at least some part of all these songs.
I mean, I don't want to speak for all creatives, but I just create. I just throw whatever at the wall and see what sticks. And of course you want to be acknowledged for your work and things like that, but that's not where my joy comes from.
Totally.
So I just hope people like it and it makes them happy, makes them dance, and God willing awards will come with that. But it's nothing to the world.
Absolutely. Does that almost it's a no-brainer to produce those because how could you not? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for me to articulate my creative vision just by doing it.
Yeah.
Because I like to ramble and I'm a talker. So I'm happy that if I'm like, can we do this? Can we do that? I could just do it myself and be like, this is what I want. here it is.
Yeah. How excited are you for this tour?
I'm really excited.
What does a tour from Chloe look like?
Ho, 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 ho. You know, I'm still figuring out that myself. I won't really know until I see the videos of it, but I'm just going to be giving my all. I will be sweating on the stage, so I need fans.
Absolutely.
And it'll be me and my girls up there, and we're just going to put our whole hearts on the floor.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Are you nervous to perform? Like, because so much of the tour is going to be your new album, right?
Oh, abso-freaking-lutely. There's only like a week and some change after that record comes out where I start my first tour date.
Right.
But what also makes me excited about that is that fans get to still learn the album with me and really connect with me on what these songs mean. And it's happening early on in the process of when people have this record. So they'll really, really get a peek inside my heart, not only sonically and lyrically, but face to face. And when I talk about the songs on the stage and things like that. So that's kind of exciting me a little more than it is making me nervous.
Okay, well, that's good. As long as it overpowers it. Because I wonder if you're on stage, like, looking out, like almost doing a survey, like how we feeling this song?
Yeah, so the thing with me is when I'm on stage, that's when I'm completely fearless and confident. Anytime I'm not on stage, that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they thinking? What's in the da-da-da-da-da? I'm such an overthinker. On stage, I'm like a fearless freaking tiger.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happens. Even if, like, say there's like a mild crowd or whatever, I don't give two craps because I'm just having the time of my life.
Yeah.
And I saw a TikTok compilation recently where it was like how I bullied the audience sometimes, and I really don't. But
sing,
yeah,
dance. I can see
and Hallie and I, we had this festival show, and it was to do it. And I'm not gonna cuss, but I was like, sing it fucking louder. And I didn't mean to like direct that to them. I was just saying it passionately, like, yeah.
Right.
But I think because I'm so aggressive on the stage.
Comes off that way.
Yeah.
You have people actually asking for mercy, like, Lord, have mercy. Like, please give me a step back. Did you ever meet that person who did the voice of that song? Like the drop or whatever you would call it?
Oh, the booty so
Yeah.
Okay, you want to know a funny story?
I do.
Well, it's not really funny, but it's a great story. So this was around Grammy weekend. I went right before the Billboard Women in Music. Was it Grammy weekend? No.
Some big event.
Everything's just mushing together. But it was around the Billboard Women in Music event. And the night before, they had a producer's dinner of all of the female engineers and producers. And I had a whole shoot that day. I was so tired. I was like, I have to go because I want to be amongst like my fellow girls, like
peers,
nerds,
of course.
like me. I feel seen.
One of them.
Right? So we go. Guess who the first person I met was? Unique, who we sampled. Booty So Big, Lord Have Mercy. And she flew into LA that day. And the first person that I hugged and introduced myself to was her.
Wow.
And I looked at her and I said, thank you for making the song for what it was. That was my first platinum record.
Yeah.
I said, without your voice, the song would not be with like what it is. And I think because I'm a fellow creative, I don't care how big or small an element is in the song because you don't know how that might affect something.
Absolutely.
Like that was the whole viral part of TikTok.
Huge.
So every collaborator I even worked with on the album, I'm like, thank you for your art. Thank you for trusting me, whether they started the song or we finished it together or anything like that. I'm like, thank you, because without your feelings and your voice and your emotion, I can't do what I'm doing. So I was just so excited. So I gave her a big hug and I was like, man, you that girl. You
She
my
is.
girl. You know?
That is wild that you the first person you bump into. And
Yeah. And to be honest, she didn't have to clear the sample.
No.
No. We're artists. We're sensitive about our work. And we're entitled to if people can use it or not. She didn't have to say yes. And I'm happy she did. And I'm
Yeah.
happy Murda sent me the track. And I'm happy he sampled her on it.
Right.
And yeah. the
Shout out
rest
to
is
everyone
history.
who made that song what it is,
Exactly.
because you're so right. Isn't it wild how the littlest thing can go viral and just change the whole
That's what I'm
trajectory of the
saying.
song?
That was my first solo song. And for it to do what it did, it brings me chills and I'm so grateful. And I can't wait for my new music to do even better.
Yeah, that's so interesting because you produce so much of your music. How do you know when the song's done?
To
Like,
be
I feel
honest,
like
I
you could
don't.
tweak it for death,
You
to
wanna-
death, you know?
Now, this is a funny story. Literally 2 nights ago, I was sitting there tweaking the master of the dead silence at the end of each song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was
that's how you
like,
know.
I was like,
Is it too quiet?
yeah, I was like, for the transition and the sequencing, I was like,
wow.
shorten this song by like 2 seconds at the end of the dead space because it's a little too long going into the next one and it's fucking up the transition I created. Things
No
like
way.
that. So I finally let it go a week and a half before the album drops.
There you go. You just had to let go, let God.
Let go and let God. Yeah.
Do you think of anything about us as radio people, like, you know, the intro, which is so important to us because we like talk over those certain things? You ever think about that? Like, is it long enough?
To be honest, no.
That's good.
I got myself out of the box I was putting my own self in.
Yeah.
Of like, what do people want to hear from me? I'm like, let me just nerd out and make great, cool music that I like and see what happens. When I was trying to like make music that I thought people wanted to hear from me, like after Have Mercy did what it did, like that was a cool, fun record. All my stuff didn't sound like that. That was just one sound. But then in my head, I was like, okay, that's what people liked from me. That's what they think all I have to offer. So I kept trying to create stuff like that. Then I hit a wall. I was like, okay, it's not feeling completely like Chloe, because Chloe's all over the place.
Yeah.
And when I started trusting my gut and I got back into my production and everything like that, that's when the body of work felt like.
And the magic happened.
That's when
and
the
that's when you
magic
know you'll
happened.
never be disappointed because it's truly you and you're doing, you know, what's true to yourself. And,
That's true.
you know,
That's true.
you can, whatever the result is, you'll always be like, well,
I
was
did.
doing me.
Yeah, I'm doing me. I put my best foot forward because you're right. I'd rather me put my all and be my complete self in this body of work than be someone else I'm not and that fail. And I'm like, fuck, what if I was myself?
Yeah, exactly. I know. Maybe it would have worked.
Yeah.
Maybe if I made that dead silence a
Yeah.
little bit longer on the song. Oh, man, this is so cool. You have so many things going on. It's hard to keep track. I mean, you're doing a million things. I want to ask you, I'm working with one of your role models, Donald Glover. Like, is that nerve-wracking? Like, what
Yes.
do you learn from someone like that?
So I think, was it the year 2018 on my vision board, I put a photo of him next to a script on my vision
of
board.
course, it was a dream board, or not the dream board, but you know, the.
Because I've always been his biggest fan, because he balances music and acting and screenwriting so well. And because that's my love of both, I was like, I want to do it like that too. So it was pretty cool when I got the email about this Untitled Donald Glover project. Shout out to him and Janine Neighbors for creating, you know, Marissa, who I played in Swarm. And shout out to Dominique Fishback for doing so incredible at playing a serial killer. You know, a lot of times you don't see black women as serial killers. You see everybody else, but not black women or the black counterparts. So I was really proud of her for doing such an excellent job by showing how us as black women can be so layered and multifaceted.
Yeah. Your inbox is crazy. You got the Donald Glover email. You got the Missy Elliott text. What's going on Snapchat? Like, who's
I don't have Snapchat,
Okay, well, there
but
you
my
go.
DMs are dry.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that can't
Not
be true.
from my friends, but she's been single for a year, you know, working on myself.
There you go. You're just not checking, probably.
Yeah, that's what my family and friends tell me. And I'm like, you know, I'm not. They're like, you're not giving anybody a chance of day because you're just working. I said, okay,
Yeah.
maybe you're right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I bet if you went over to the request, though, you'd just be blue check marks like crazy. What are you talking about? Well, congrats on everything. It's so cool to watch your journey, and especially like being a fan early on to like now what you're doing. It's just crazy to see everything.
Thank you.
What does your godmom think about all this? Like,
She's
you know?
so excited and happy for me. And a lot of the things, like without her, without my team, like it wouldn't be possible without them. So I'm just really, really grateful. I could not stand on my own 2 feet without her and without them. And I'm happy. I'm so happy.
It's amazing.
Vince.
You got a busy month coming up.
I do.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. Congrats
Lots of
on
energy
everything.
drinks,
Oh, man. What's your go-to energy drink?
I would say, but they'd have to pay me.
Oh, exactly.
But
Good
I
for
have
you. Yeah,
my
don't
whole
say that.
I have my whole fridge stocked with it, but I'm not gonna name any names.
Good for you.
Unless they want to give them to me for free.
You know who you are. Slide in the DMs, or maybe not. She doesn't check them. Chloe, thank you for
That
being
was
here.
funny.
Yeah, I tried. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate
Thanks. This was fun.
it. Yeah, amazing.